in our relationships. Lahat tayo nasa relationship, di ba? Merong may asawa, may relationship din sa anak, may relationship sa kamag-anak, may relationship sa aso, di ba? May relationship sa boss, working relationship ba? Okay, so ngayon, ano kaya ang message natin ni Lord? Living out our God-centeredness in our relationships. We are very fortunate kasi ang speaker natin today is, actually, yung nakita ko yung biodata niya, yung CV niya, wow, napaka-VIP, hindi ko wala naman akong asawa, kakarelate siya. Kaya may asawa na ako. Siya po ay sought-after celebrity, inspirational speaker in television, radio, and conferences. So, mala Piolo ba ito? Mala Richard Gomez? O kaya Tirso Cruz David? Ayan lahat ng generation yan. Siya rin po ay declared, he is the author of the #1 selling book, Love with God Today. Okay, so, naku, matalino to. #1 selling book. He is also seminary trained, professor of philosophy and theology. So, mabait. President din siya of Life Enrichment Consultancy. Naman. At he also works as an advisor to a number of national and local politicians. Malamamones. I hope not. Anyway, so all and all plus more, all this plus more, he is going to be our speaker today. Incurably contagious, with incurably contagious cheerfulness and truly inspiring wisdom. Wow, I won't keep you waiting because I too am so excited to hear from him. So let's all welcome our speaker for today to talk on living our God-centeredness in our relationships, Brother Michael Lobrin. Michael Angelo Lobrin. Sorry for that. Yolo.
Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Maraming salamat po sa tatlong sumagot, para tatlo lang po ang tao ngayon. Mamatay na po ang hindi sumagot. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Good afternoon. My name is Michael Angelo Lobrin. If you don't know me, it's okay. The feeling is mutual. I don't know you also, no? Ako po yung nakikita niyo sa Channel 2, Channel 11, Channel 7. Ako po ang co-negosyo TV host sa Channel 11. Ako po yung narinig yung kasama ni Mike Enriquez at Arnold Clavio sa DCWB. Ako rin po yung kasama ni Nicole Lian at Christopher at Papa Jack sa Love Radio. So kung hindi niyo po ako naboboses na namumukhaan, isa lang po ang totoo. Wala po kayong TV at wala po kayong radyo. So hindi ko na po problema yan. That's your problem already. By the way, this is a nice talk. I was told that there will be a raffle. So magpaparaffle tayo mamaya ng 100 sako ng bigas na kasaing na. Okay? So malamang 3 taon kasi naman kayo. Ha? At because I'm a best-selling author and a sought-after celebrity speaker, I will donate 250,000 worth of funeral services. What's good, it's non-transferable and you have to use it in 3 days. Expiration, no? If you don't know how to use it, I'm gonna help you, no? Yung mga tao, pag nakikita po ako sa personal, sabi ko, oh, you look small in person. In TV, you're so tall. Sabi ko, lumayo ka, makatadya kang kita, no? Imagine nyo, ngayon ako nakita, lalakit pa ako, no? I remember when I went to Europe, you know, it's so, in Europe, it's a nice country, so cool, no? Pagdating ko po sa Europe, putok-putok ang labi ko. Pag uwi ko ng Pilipinas, putok-putok ang kilikili ko. At pag kayo may putok, huwag niyo pong ikakahiyayan dahil pinagpawisan niyo po yan, no? Parang ay bagyang pinagpupuyatan, may human effort, no? As soon as I get down the airport, kasi ang pangit naman kung bababa ako ng Boss Boulevard, mamamatay ako nun. So inantay ko lumukas ng airport. Pagbaba ko ng airport, paglabas ko ng immigration, nagkagulo yung mga tao, sabi, ay, si Michael Angelo, yung sikat na speaker, hi! Ikaw ba nakikita namin sa TV? Sabi ko malamang, kasi hindi mo naman ako makikita sa radyo. Sa TV mo naman talaga ako makikita. Sabi niya, sir, you know, you're really famous. I really like you. Can have picture taking with you? You know, Filipinos, we are a the country because we are so biblical. Where there are 2 or 3 or 5 Filipinos gathered, surely there is picture taking. Ha? Tatandaan mo yan. May picture taking dyan. No, ang problema, dalawa sila magpapicture. There were 2 of them who would like to have picture with me. You know, we have a superstition in the Philippines that if there are 3 people having picture taking, the one in the center will surely die. You know, sabi ng isa, naku sir, masama ko palang magpa-picture ng 3, mamamatay ko kung nasa gitna. Siyempre, I was the one in the center because I am the artist. artista. Sabi ko, ate, walang iyakan, inistorbo mo na ako, papatayin mo pa ako. Sabi ko, basahin mo yung pangatlong libro ko, you read my third book, because my third book is about feng shui and about superstition. I told in that book that it's not true that the person in the center, if you are three, will be the one to die. Tanungin niyo ko, why? Kasi busy ang Diyos. Alam na makaraw niya ng gawin ng Diyos. I-check lang ang picture niyo, patayin niya. Sakit naman ang gawin ng Diyos. Why not exchange places with God, no? I think that's the reason why so many people are not there was this artist by the name Bayani at Bayani who asked me, Sir, it seems that you are always happy. It seems that you are always on the go. Bakit po kayo masayahin? Sabi ko, dalawa lang. The reason why I'm happy, only two things. One, una, anong pakialam mo? Walang pakialaman, trip ko yan. Kung gusto mo umiyak ka ng umiyak, wala akong pakialam sa'yo. Pangalawa, the reason why I'm happy because I know I have a big God up there who loves me no matter what. No matter what. And don't forget that. That would be the very reason why you will be happy every day even you have problems. Hindi ko nasasabihin ko sa even you have problems in access, no? Kasi I myself, I have my own problems in access, ha? Alam mo kung bakit? Hindi lang kung binasa ni ate, I have a very colorful life. I'm still young, I'm 31. Though I look like a fetus, I'm 31 already. But you know, I have a very colorful life. I'm not only a celebrity comedian, I am not only a TV personality, I'm not only a radio person, I'm also the youngest advisor to a number of corrupt local and national politicians, no? Ako po ang pinakabatang advisor ng mga senador at mga congressman. I remember I gave a talk before I left for China. Natuwa nga ako, I went to China. Si Presidente, hindi winelcome ako, winelcome ako, no? Kaya sabi ko kay Pinoy ko, buti nga, di ba? I remember na, Noel, I need a laptop here. Not there. Sabi ko po doon, we have our own shares of problems. And sometimes it pains me. Sometimes the government sometimes is really giving us rules that sometimes it's so hard for us to understand. No? Kaya I remember I had a meeting with some senators 2 weeks ago. And in Senate, the line of senators, at least just for your purpose, mamatay na magkwento sa labas. Mamatay agad-agad. Buong angkan mamamatay. I remember, I attended a meeting with some senators, and during the meeting, because the life of some senators, mahirap, every day catered sila doon, catering. That's where your taxes go, no? Catering. And hindi masarap ang ice cream ng mga politiko. Tanungin niyo ko Häagen-Dazs. Alam niyo ba yung Häagen-Dazs? Alam niyo kung magkano yung Häagen-Dazs? Ang mura lang po yung mga 300, Häagen-Dazs is around 300 pesos per ice cream. And during the meeting, I was able to consume 4 boxes of it. And then one senator exclaimed, oh, it's your favorite, no? I am just trying to consume my tax for the month, no? Because it's so high, no? Sometimes, nawawalan tayo ng moral whenever we experience pain in life. But I was conversing with Chris a while ago and Gigi, and I was telling them that, in this life, there is only one thing that you will understand that is constant, and that is change. There will always be change, and change can only be important and effective unless it is painful. But the problem is, we people, especially Filipinos, we are not that used to change. And because of that, nagugulo na, nakukonfuse na lahat ng bagay. So, please, I am not here to answer your questions about tax. I am not here even to tell you what to do on your problems. But what I want to give you today, my dear friends, is a higher level of looking at life. There's so many good things happening to you more than that problem. And what I want you to understand is learn to appreciate it. May nagtanong sa akin, bakit daw so many people are not that happy, not contented? Because these are the very people who keeps on looking and counting the things that they don't have. If you keep on counting the things that you don't have, you will not just be sad, you will even commit suicide. Why not count the things that you have? You're still alive. You are in the Philippines, at least our problems here are only tax and Janet Napoles. After that, no more. Or how about in Syria? You've seen our brethren there. In fact, if you will talk about to the poorest of the poor, the squatters in the Philippines, about tax, they will not be able to understand even the spelling of tax. What I'm trying to tell and explain to you, my dear friends, is that I don't believe that everything happens for a reason. We might not understand it now, but later we will. Sabi niya siguro, it's so easy for you to say that, Mr. Lobrin, because you have a good life. You don't have any problem. Who told you I don't have any problem? Just this afternoon, I have a problem. Ask me what's your problem. Ang problema ko kung mauubos ko ba yung 2 libro ngayon, mabigat-bigat ako sa sakyan ko. By the way, let me just do some marketing. I am a book author, ito po yung libro ko. Nakakayaman po aminin, number 2 bestseller lang po ako ngayon sa buong Pilipinas. At dahil in-announce ko na po, mamatay na po ang hindi bumili mamaya. So alam niyo na kung bakit ako nag-bestseller, pinapatay po audience ko. The title of my book is Love with God Today. But don't worry, it's English in outside, but Taglish inside. Kasi kung tinutong English mo yan, baka maraming Pilipino na nag-hemorrhage at nag-gingivitis. When you look at the book, may caricature, may funny drawings. Bakit may funny drawings? There's funny drawings, dalawa lang po. At tinanong ako mismo sa English, bakit daw po may drawing ang mga, why are they drawings? Yes, reminder lang po, we have foreign nationals, yes, I know. That, I apologize because what I prepared, the module that I prepared is really Filipino version, so I'm trying my best to, because some of the kwento and the stories are not really nice said in Filipino. So maybe for our foreign, by the way, I'm sorry, but I would speak English. I'm also half foreigner, I'm half Filipino, half Australian, so I'm half human, half kangaroo. So don't worry. So I will give later on also copies of my talk for the purpose of our foreign. You know, I remember FDR, I had the chance to share podium with him. And he did not realize that there were foreigners in the audience. And when he was saying, oh, Mr. President, there are foreigners inside the hall. And you know what FDR said? Oh, to our foreign delegates, I will translate to you only this very short translation about the 30 minutes talk. I said, Filipinos is okay, ha? Everything okay. Ay, puro mali na yung sinabi niya, ha? Today, sabi sa akin ni Susan Enriquez, why your book has drawings? Sabi ko, dalawa lang una, anong pakialam mo? Kung gusto mo magsulat ka ng libro, puro numbers. Tingnan ko lang kung may bumili niya, no? Pangalawa, kaya may drawing ko ang libro ko kasi mga Pilipino, likas na tanga. Pag walang drawing, hindi na iintindihan, di ba? Totoo naman, that's why you like magazine, ano? Di ba? Today, let me talk about transcendence and discovering our excellence in life. I'm 31. You know, when I reach the age of 30, I start to feel afraid. I'm getting old. Because the Bible said the life of man is 60, 70 for those who are strong. So, I will not assume, because I did not study in Assumption College, so I will not assume. Maybe let's just presuppose that I will be dead by 60. So practically, I'm half dead. Okay? Practically, I'm half dead. If you use the amount of 60 as your mortality rate, practically I'm half dead. But I have to remember I'm still half alive. And I think the challenge of life is that I should make the most of what's remaining in my life. That's why I don't engage in petty things. Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to reach the farthest heights of your life? Remember these 4 important things. 1, money can be earned. Don't ever quarrel because of money. Don't ever quarrel and destroy your name because of money. So you know, I pity these politicians who got so much money from the country, and look at them now, no peace of mind. Second, the loss of a life of a loved one is irreplaceable. Spend time with your families. You know, whenever I give trainings to big corporations in the Philippines, I always remind the owners as well as the employees not to bring your work in your houses so that you will focus. Because sometimes you tend to confuse your house from your office. In the office, you sleep. Diba? In your work, in your home, in your houses, in your respective homes, you are awake and no longer spending time. Spend time with your families. At the end of the day, your loved ones is the one that matters most. Third, petty quarrels can be solved. If you have problems with one another, talk immediately. The problem with us, pag may problema, imbis na ikwento dun sa nakasakit, i-chismis pa dun sa isa, pati kang chismosa. Ganito yung mga chismosa ang bunga, uy, alam mo naman ba yung kwento? Sabi naman ng chismosa number 2, alin? Naku, hindi mo pa alam. Sasabihin yung chismosa number 1, ay, ayoko na ikwento sa'yo, baka ikwento mo. Sabi yung chismosa number 2, na-activate mo na yung pagiging chismosa. Ay, naku, sabihin mo na, no? Sabi niya, o sige ha, sasabihin ko sa iyo, pero huwag mo ikikwento kahit kanino ha. Sa'yo ko lang sinabi ito. Naku, maniwala ka dyan. Sa'yo lang sinabi nung araw na yun. Kahapon, isang daan na nasabihan niya. Petty quarrels can be solved. Life is too short to quarrel. Do you know that life is so short not to be happy and to choose to be sad? It's so short. I'm 31. When I started to realize that I'm 31, I started to really be afraid. But you know, when I saw you now, my feelings are gone. Because if I'm afraid, paano pa kayo? Di ba? What more with you? You're older than myself. Life is short. That's why I tell people, if you could smile now, smile now. Don't count the things that you don't have. Rather count the things that you have. And surely you will be happy. If you have problems, you will say, oh, it's easier said than done because you don't have any problem. I have my own problems. I came from a broken family. My father left us for another family. Ang tatay ko po hindi sumakabilang buhay, nasa kabilang bahay lang. Not just that, I was even a battered kid. I was a battered child because my father got confused whether I'm a human being or a shrimp. That's why he battered me, because battered shrimp tastes good. Not just that, it's even we are one of the richest families during my time, as far as I remember, because I'm sure you know our business. We are the makers of the Budang Alkansya. Remember the Budang Alkansya in the 80s? That yung nilalagay nyo ng bariya, tapos kinukupitan nyo rin pag wala na kayong pera. We are the producer in the whole country of that. We became rich, but because of my father's being a womanizer and a drunkard, my father squandered everything. What is to squander? Ewan ko, nabasa ko lang sa Johnny yung word, baka magandang gamitin. Squander. Nilustahin ng tatay ko. And you will be surprised, we became so poor. And at the age of 9 years old, I have experienced how to sell basahan and rags in the streets of Bayan, Novaliches. Imagine the little cute Michelangelo selling basahan in the streets. Ganito ako benta. Basahan! Basahan! So siya, ganyan ko, may accent. Rags! Not just that, I even experienced how to beg in the streets. When I was in grade 6, I was begging, alms, spare me a piece of bread. Of course, it's in English. I came from a very rich family. And people cannot believe. One friend of mine said, how come? If you came from a broken family, you should be a womanizer now. You should be a criminal now. You should be stealing here and there. Sabi ko, wait, total ikaw nakaisip, why not do it by yourself? Do you want to know my secret, dear friends? How I was able to turn difficulties into possibilities. How I was able to turn crisis moments into defining moments. Do you want to know my secret? It's in the book, just by the book. Okay? It's in chapter 14. Huh? That's what you call intensive marketing. Huh? But for the purpose of this talk, I will tell you the secret. It's not really a secret. It's there in your hearts. The voice that tells you, hey, don't forget, life is a choice. Period. Can you repeat that?
Life is a choice.
Kita niyo, pati period. Dito naman, pati pala sa baby, maraming tatanga-tanga rin. By the way po pala, ang mga jokes ko po pala pang matatalino lang ha. So kung hindi po kayo natatawa, alam niyo na po, bobo kayo, umalis na po kayo, hindi po kayo mag-i-enjoy sa session na ito. Yes, my dear friends, if you want to be happy even in the midst of your problems and life that is uncertain, you have to remember that most of the things in your life are within the boundaries of your choice. The fact that you are here listening rather than eating lunch was a choice in your part. The fact that you are working in ADB was a choice in your part. The fact that you are listening to your handsome speaker was a choice in your part. The fact that you will go home, you will sleep, you will think about is a choice in your part. The fact that you will buy the book, it's not a choice, it's a must. But you see, kidding aside, even the buying and not buying of the book is a choice. So choose. My point, my dear friends, Whatever your situation, whatever situation you are into now, it's still up to you to make the choice. Even I have my own share of problems, I don't wallow every day about my problems because it doesn't add to the years of my life. It only lessen my life as a person because you keep on worrying. You put humor every day in your life, or else you will have tumor for sure. Of course, sometimes we are bombarded with difficulties and problems in life that we cannot understand fully at first. But later on, definitely we will. That's why, before I begin the talk, I have not yet begun. This is just an introduction. Pasensya na po kayo kasi nung pinanganak po ako, bungangang naging tao po ako. No? Bunganga ako, hindi ako nagkaroon ng kamay, sa ako naging tao. But for today, let me summarize the talks by 3 points. If you want to at least strengthen your life, not just as a person, not just as a Filipino or as a national of another country, you have to remember that at the end of the day, the greatest gift that God has given you is your life. We can never contest on that. Life is the greatest gift we receive from God. And I think God has made us a human being for us to understand the beauty that goes with it. Just imagine if you were created a cockroach. Have you seen a cockroach? You know, their life is so difficult. You know what they do? Umiiwas lang sila sa paa, chinelas, sapatos. Sometimes nasa taas na yung cockroach, bubombang pa ng Bible. Sabi na, "It is bakit?" You know? But you became a human person. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts life has given you. Look at your seatmate. Nakakatakot, no? It's scary. It's like horror house. Tell your seatmate, remember. Tell your seatmate, remember. You are blessed. God created you. A human being. Even it doesn't show. Yes. The greatest gift that you have received is your being human. And I think that's the problem now of modern people. We tend to confuse human being. You know, I teach philosophy at De La Salle University and Entrepreneur School of Asia. I always tell my students that whenever you understand human, it's always human being. Human can never exist without a being. Because it is the being that gives value to humanity. Where is that being coming from? It is coming from the perspective that you were created in the image and likeness of God. And that's when we get the beauty of our being. But some people, especially the modern people, we, the millennial people with gadgets, people with computers, we tend to confuse humanity with what we have. Some people, if I have so many money, like our politicians, some of them, if we have good cars, we have good houses, we are human. Why? Because we tend to confuse human being from human having. What I have defines me. Some people, they tend to put the meaning of their humanity with their work. That's why we love titles. Senators, congressmen. I remember I gave a lecture to the senators and congressmen. I was telling them, you know, you politicians are like stars in heaven. There was one senator who raised his hand. He said, why do you think that we are stars in heaven? Because we are famous? Because we are unreachable? No. You politicians are like stars in heaven. Para kayong bituin sa langit dahil wala kayong alam na gawin kundi kumurap ng kumurap. Ano? Second session, mag-isa na lang po ako. No? I even reprimanded a congressman. You know, for 9 years, he was a congressman. Imagine, 9 years with a 70 million budget every year. Alam niyo kung ano lang po ang programa niya every year, napakamakahulugan, oplan tuli ng tuli. Sabi ko, Congressman, tumigil ka na, skinless na yung distrito mo. Ang maganda lang, nagkaroon ng negosyo yung mga tao, gumagawa sila ng wallet, pag hinimas, nagiging maleta, no? Some people, they tend to look at their humanity with their work. Professor, engineer, architect. We want titles. And then when we experience retirement, we look at retirement as being not human anymore. Because we are no longer doing anything. We are retired. Kaya ba nagiging retarded pa? Kakaisip. Why? Because these are the people who looks at their lives as human doing. My dear friends, the doing and the having, they will all fade away when we get old. But the being, it will remain. Life is short, my dear friends. Have you seen a dead person? Look at your seatmate. O, diba? Parang mali na lang ang ulam, burol na, diba? Have you seen a cemetery? Have you seen a tombstone? What's the tombstone? In Tagalog, lapida. That is the calling card of the person who died. So at least you know who is occupying that one bedroom. What do you see in the tombstone? You see there RIP. What's RIP? In Tagalog, SLN. What's SLN? Salamok na matay. Na-dengue po yan. Malamang may lagnat, no? What do you see there? You see the name, and then under the name are the two important dates. On the left side, you have the date of birth, and on the right side, you have the date of death. Now, what's in between those two important dates? A small dash, right? My friends, that's only our life. That small life is what defines you and what defines me. So this is the $1,000,000 question. Now that you have problems and difficulties at your side, not even at your side, on the totality of you, would you just wallow every day? Or you will keep moving on and find that bright side of your life? The problem with people, whenever we have problems, we stop from doing things. No. Keep on doing things. God's grace is more than enough for you to be able to conquer everything. If you believe that you have a loving God, you will not say, God, I have a big problem. But rather you will say, hey problem, I have a big God, bigger than you. And you will be surprised. You will be able to get inspiration in this seeming paradox of your life. In this seeming irony. You know what's irony? The one that you use for clothes, the flat irony. Sometimes we live in a world, in a time of our lives that it's so ironic. Sometimes you tend to ask God, why am I experiencing this? I'm a good person. You see how humble you are? I'm a good person. That's why we have a good question. Why do bad things happen to good people? I was told you are doing charity. I was told. Sometimes, diba, your question is, how can I do charity if I myself have experienced from other people the contradiction of what charity is all about? Diba? Minsan sabihin mo, bakit ako gagawa ng mabuti? Eh ako ngayon mismo, hindi ko nararamdaman ng kabutihan ng iba. That's why you'll fall on that question of Nora Honor. Bakit ako pa? Why do bad things happen to good people? But I think, my dear friends, if you're a mature individual and a believer of God and life, your question will never be why. It will always be what. What happens to good people when bad things happen to them? I'll answer it for you. One, you will say, I will stop doing good. If that happens, evil triumph over good. Titigil tayo sa paggawa ng mabuti. Or, you will be that one that's precious. You will say, even I experience hardships in life, this will never stop me from doing what is good. This will never stop me from serving my God. Because I do believe that it is only when it's hurting that real giving becomes real. Tatandaan niyo po that whenever you give and you do charity, if it doesn't hurt, it is not real charity. Sabi ni Mother Teresa, give until it hurts. You know what? Ask me what? Now that most of you are experiencing these tumultuous times of your life, I will no longer be particular. Let's just cover it with the name tax. Maybe life is challenging you to go beyond your own tribulations. Rather find the meaning of your goodness in the midst of your difficulties. And you know what will happen? Ask me what will happen. You will become wounded healers. As you are yourself wounded, you become healers for other people. And you will be surprised that as you heal other people, you are healing your own self. I think that's what makes life so beautiful. Sabi niyo, sir, it's easier said than that. That's why let me propose 3 things for you in order for you to make that perspective at least a little easier. 1, have focus. What's the number 1? Have focus. That's the problem with people, especially Filipinos. People of lack of focus. Where is focus coming from? From vision. If you know that you were created by God to be happy, everything that does not go with that happiness, you will try to remove. You will try your best to remember the beautiful prayer of serenity. You remember the prayer of serenity? Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. But grant me the courage to change the things I can. But most of all, dear God, grant me the wisdom to know the difference. Focus comes from vision. How do you see yourself? You know, that's a problem with people now. Because we're so high-tech. You know, the world is really different now. I remember when I was still young and very handsome. Now I'm no longer young, I'm only handsome, no? And you know, my being handsome is like a cancer, stage 4. I was told by the doctor, it's incurable. And the good thing for male people, don't worry, hindi po ito nakakahawa. Ako lang po ito. Ano po? That's a problem with modern people. I could still remember, sometimes I feel so nostalgic, that when I was still very young, I only had 1 peso in my palm, and yet I was so happy. I only remember that time when you were still young and you only had 1 peso, at ano lang po ang kayang bili ng piso nyo, yung sikat na candy tira-tira. Naalala niyo po yun? Yung tira-tira na candy na mahaba na nandito ka sa Ortigas, yung kamay mo nasa Pasay, hindi pa tuloy yung dindig, no? Sa sobrang lagkit, nakabanat sa maduming pambalot ng Ovaltine, di ba? Alam niyo naman, mas madumi, mas masarap, di ba? Para yung kinakain ng lugawan sa Pasay, ang sarap, o laman loob, katabi niya, puniraria, ang sarap ng lugaw. Who could forget that we buy that 1 peso with the famous Chichirian pom-poms? Remember that pom-poms? At ano yung pinakasikat, no? For our foreign sisters and brothers here, we have a famous chewing gum in the Philippines. During that time, Bazooka, Texas, and the one in the Garabon, the red one, no, it's not white, it's mothballs. Tapos nagamit yun. Malalaso ka pag kinakain mo. You know, the cherry balls, right? And during my time, television was not that popular. Radio was still the one that's popular. It's a family reunion whenever we listen to the greatest drama ever created, Matudnina. Ang ano yung greatest horror radio program, Gabi ng Lagim. And remember that you don't see what's going on in the radio because you cannot see the actors. Everything is being explained. Diba, nahuli ng babae, yung asawa niya ng babae, magkapatong pa sa kama. Sabi ng babae, radyo to, walang niya, kapirting. Nahuli ko na kayo magkapatong, papatayin ko kayong dalawa. Ito na, papunta na ako ng kusina. Kumukuha na ako ng kutsilyo. Sasabi na lang, ito na, may kutsilyo ka na. Lumalapit ka na. Ay, sinasasa ko na yung babae ko. Umaray na siya. Sasabi ng babae, aray. Lahat sinasabi, and yet life, even it's so simple, life is so meaningful and full of joy. Remember the first computer that we had? The games, family computer. Pag hindi gumagana yung bala, iniihipan mo. Remember the famous child show? Pagmulat ng mata, langit na katawa sa pag-ibot. Ano pa sunod na? Bawat bata may tanong. Ba't ganito? Ba't ganon? Hayang buksan ang isipan sa science o agam. Tayo na sa siniswela. Diba? Remember? Ano kasunod nyo? Gusto kong sisili ang agos ng buhay. Inaya manawari. Diba? Remember that? And remember, we enjoy the different cartoons that we watch. Yung dalawang tangang sagi, si Diwan at Bito. Tama yun eh, sa kanya makikita barkada, taga-idinginat-ngat yan, di ba? Sino makakalimot sa mga sikat na superhero si Bayuman, na kaya natatalo, nandiyan yung kalaban, nagbibihis pa lang siya, di ba? Sino makakalimot kay Princess Sarah? Who will forget Monchaco? And who will ever forget Voltes 5? Remember Voltes 5? The greatest robot ever created by Japan. That's why I had a friend here, Japanese in ADB. I was telling him, you know, that's the greatest invention that you Japanese was able to do. Because there was war during that time. Americans sent 1,000 jets. China sent 500 jets. Japan only sent 5 jets. Naku, nag-atrasan yung 1.5 kung narinig nila yung tunog. Tapos shit, it's Golden Star. Hindi natin kaya yan, no? And who will not forget those happy moments? Remember that time you don't have that much money, but you're so happy. Now that we have so many money, nice job. BIR is running after us. I'm trying to make you understand that life is still beautiful. Don't forget your youthful days. Find inspiration from them. If from time to time you are being swallowed and eaten by despair and frustration, just don't forget how you are blessed by God and how life has been so good to you. Remember the games that we had when we were young? Simple lang ang mga laro natin. Piko, di ba? Guguhin ka lang. Yung laro ng mga tanga, alam niyo, shato, di ba? Yung shato. Para tanga ka sa paghagis mo, biglang yung 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sino makakalimot yung larong goma, yung ititirintas mo na silalagay mo sa leeg mo, ikaw na ang anak ni Suma, di ba? Sino makakalimot ng paborito natin laro, hide and seek, di ba? Yung taguampong, yung hanap ka ng hanap, nakauwi na pala lahat ng kaibigan mo. Imagine mo, elementary kayo naglaro, college na, hindi pa kayo nagtagpo-tagpo. Sino makakalimot ng laro ng mga bata, yung tansan, yung kakalog-kalog ka? Sino makakalimot ng trumpo, sumpit? Hindi ko na lang sinabi yung paborito yung laro, yung habulang gahasa. Alam niyo po yun? Hahabulin ka, pag nahabulan ka, re-rating ka, malapit ka na. Ayan, naiiyak si ate mo kung naaalala. Life is so beautiful. But look at the life of modern people. You know why I'm telling you this? Ask me why. Because I want you to understand why people tend to react differently in problems. Because you are now in a different world. Everything is so fast. There's Facebook. You know, I don't engage too much in Facebook. That's why all my fans, they thought I'm dead already. Because I don't use my Facebook. Because sometimes it tends to confuse me. Facebook. About the meaning of Facebook, you see, you have Facebook, right? Then you will announce in the wall, my grandfather died. What will you see? Like. I think there's something wrong. They're liking here. You got my point? That's why I understand why people, especially Filipinos, tend to be so vulnerable in times of difficulties. Because you live now in a different world that everything is fast. You want immediate response. We can no longer wait. And you know, it pains me. We thought that when we connected ourselves with technology, we will become better people. But what happened was the contrary. We became so different from one another. What happened? I saw families eating together, but not talking because everyone was texting. I saw two friends smiling, laughing, but never talking, forwarding messages. What happened to us? There's still lack of focus. Wala na tayo sa focus. Right? Diba? Be honest with me. Sometimes, diba, you tend to lose focus whenever you have problems. That's the problem with us people who work. We don't just work. We carry within us every day our problems in the house and our own personal difficulties. That's why I was telling you, even Filipinos are not drug users. Filipinos are drug addicts. Nakakita na ba kayo ng addict? Tingnan mo yung katabi mo. Diba? Yung mga addict, mukhang pusher, diba? Ano ba mga itsura? Ano ba itsura ng mga addict? Yung mga addict, wala sa focus. You cannot talk to an addict person well, diba? Laging lutang, diba? Ang mga Pilipino ganyan, tanungin niyo ko paano. O, saan kayo nakakita ng mga tao pag may baha, lumalangoy? Sa Pilipinas, diba? There was flood in Australia, in Japan, everyone was crying, but in the Philippines, if there's flood, everyone is swimming. No? Dito ka lang makakakita ng mga tao na pag may namumpog at nadulas, pinagtatawanan pa natin, diba? Pag may namumpog, lalagay ka ng masakit, nalipog kita na maramdaman mo, visit ka. I remember I was invited to give a lecture in ABS-CBN, so I was walking towards the studio, kasi parang naman, if I will be crawling, yan, dumi-dumi ko nun. So naglalakad ako papuntang studio. Paglakad ko, may nadaan na akong kanal, just there was a sabi dyan, anong kubaw? Hindi, tugigaraw, sama ka. Back and forth tayo, hindi mamatay ka ng dalawa, buisit ka. Di ba? Sometimes you don't need to ask, you still ask. I remember, I was teaching, itago natin that side the name of the school para hindi nyo alam, by the name St. Paul, Quezon City. Ha? Kaya, kunyari hindi nyo alam, St. Paul, Quezon City. I asked my student, Iha, how many 7 sacraments do we have? Imagine you already gave the answer, 7 sacraments. I think 4. Wow! Grabe yung utak mo, parang wala ka pagka-matching, baka matanggal yan, ha? Hiyang-hiyan mo sa tagumpay mo, no? Di ba magkaminan tayo? Di ba you tend to choose speakers? If you have heard a speaker and you find that speaker boring, do you think that speaker could still go back and give lectures to you? No longer. Hindi na imbitay ni Edith siya, baka bugbugin pa doon sa labi pa lang, bugbog sa kaso niya. Remember, you be honest with me, isn't it that whenever you attend the Holy Mass, you try to choose the best priest who could give the best homily? If you don't like the priest, your head is rotating and you see everything in the church. Oh, there's no electric fan. Oh, there's no chandelier. Oh, there's spider. Oh, may pinis. Oh, ang pangit ng pare. Lahat na napansin nyo. Parang kapitbahay namin cannot barely pray the rosary. Because whenever she prays the rosary, she always see everything in the house. Sabi niya, sa ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak ng Espiritu Santo, Aba, Ginong Maria, pakisara lang ang pintuan. Aba, Ginong Maria, nakambintan, nakabukas umuulan. Aba, Ginong Maria, nakaplansya, nakasasak, tanggalin mo. Aba, kaya ng pinta, nagdala sa lola mo. Kaya sabi niya mag-rosaryo, Aba, Ginong Maria, nagpupulo ka ng pinto. Ang Panginoong Diyos ay sumang sa bintana. O kung pinagpala sa babaeng plansya, pinagpala ka naman yung anak na timbayan. Kung ano na nasabi. Because lack of focus, my dear friends. If you want to be happy, focus. Don't look at the things that you don't have. Look at the things that you have. And that brings me to the second point. Remain grateful every day. If you want to be able to exercise transcendence in moments of difficulties, be grateful. Always find opportunity to be happy and to thank life and God. If you have the attitude of gratitude, you will be 3 persons in 1. You're a happy person, you're a humble person, and you're a hopeful person. If you are grateful, you will always be happy. Some people, they tend to count the things that they don't have. They tend to complain. If it is hot, it's hot. If it is cold, it's cold. Why not become a warm? Yung uod, wala atang nararamdaman. Before you complain that you have an old rotten shoe, why not talk to a person with no legs at all? So that you understand what you're talking about. Di ba nagreklamo tayo if our viand is fish? What is it? Fish again? Isda na naman, hoy. Bago mo isda na naman, ikaw ba naramdaman ng isda nung pinrito siya? Magpalit kayo ng isda, ikaw ang pinrito. At sabi ng isda, tako na naman, mapapatay mo yung isda na yan. Somebody asked me, sir, I'm not good looking. That's my problem. Friend, if you're ugly, that's the greatest ID that you have. Nobody will even dare to steal that from you. And imagine if you are ugly, even you will mingle 1 billion people, lutang na hayop ka, you will emerge as the real animal of all the people there. Before you complain, there is a cow lady who complains, sir, look at me, I look like a man because I don't have what's in front. I am flat-chested. Kapatid, if you're a woman and you're flat-chested, you're so lucky because ang likod mo, dibdib mo ay iisa, di ba? Kahit umikot ang ulo mo, parang wala na. Huwag ka lang maglalakad, paatras nga lang yan. At alam mo, pag ikaw ay bata, pag ikaw ay payat, at you're a thin guy, lalaki ka, you're also lucky because when you get sick, you don't need to have X-ray. Flashlight only will do. Kung talaga, pag flashlight ka, kita agad may sakit ka na. My dear friends, be grateful. There's so many things in life that we could count as blessings. In fact, the whole duration of our life will never, ever fail just to count the blessings that you have. At least, even you have problems, you're not sick. Some people, they don't have problems in DIR, but they have cancer. They are dying. I'm not telling you that, hindi natin that problem. No. What I'm telling you is higher level of perspective. It's not the end of the world. Make sure that you have done all possible remedies. The problem with people kasi, wala pang remedy. Kung ano sinasabi, Ganyan, napaka-negative. At ang problema sa mga Pilipino, pati yung magagandang gawain nyo nadadamay pag may problema kayo. Huwag na tayo mag-charity. Tigil na yan. Baka na ito ng pamahalaan. Hello? Don't enter the bait. Don't ever reflect evil from another evil. Rather kill evil with goodness. At the end of the day, we will be judged by the love that we have given. Even we have problems, please don't stop being happy. Pag ako whenever I have problems, I talk to people with problems. And you know, whenever I hear them, oh my God, mas madali lang pala yung problema ko. Eh, ito yung problema na kausap yung asawa niya, demonyo, matindi yun. Kasi pag may asawa kang demonyo, imagine mo yung impyerno, dito pa lang nararanasan mo na. Sasabay pa yung biyenan mo, yung dobling impyerno yan. So many things to be grateful for. Pasalamat ka, you're still well. Some people, they are fighting for their life, dying. I remember a friend who was inflicted with dengue. I visited her in the hospital. And when she saw me, she started to shout, "My God! My God! Why me? Bakit ako pa ang nagka-dengue?" Sumagot ako, teka, parang gusto mo ako parang kontrahin nyo, baka lumipat sa inyo yun, di ba? But you know, it made me think, why her, not me? I'm still lucky. You know, whenever I pray during lunchtime or whatever meal I've been to, I always pray this prayer. Lord, bless the food I am about to receive, and as I receive them, may I never forget my brothers and sisters, the poor who have the appetite but no food over the table. But also, I remember the rich who have plenty of food but no appetite at all because they are sick. But I thank you, I have both, the food and the appetite. And for this, I thank you. Have that attitude of positivity. I'll tell you this, if you will always be negative in the midst of negative situations, negativity begets negativity. That's the power of positive thinking. Somebody asked me, how come you became one of the best speakers? What's your secret? You know what's my secret? Every day of my life, before I leave my place, for the past 10 years, I face the mirror before leaving. Of course, I face it kasi pangit mo kung nakatalikod ka. Bakit ka naman magsasalamin kung nakatalikod ka pa? And you know what I say in front of the mirror? Every day, for the past 10 years, Michael, remember, I talk to myself, remember, Michael, that you are one of the best, the funniest, the wittiest, the most brilliant, and the cutest and inspiring speaker in the whole world. That's every day. For the past 10 years, you know what happened? I was able to fool myself. Naloko ko ang sarili ko. You know what happened next? Ask me what happened. Now, I am fooling you. The reason why you are listening to me is because I know that you feel that you're sure that I'm sure of what I'm saying. My dear friends, remain grateful. Life is short to be sad. Huwag na natin problemahin ang problema. Pag may problema, nandiyan na yan, move. Move. Sometimes our problem is one another. We quarrel. I don't engage in petty quarrels. Because una-una, I have a practical question. Will I earn if I quarrel with you? Will that add to my paycheck if I quarrel with you? Kikita ba ako dyan? Wala. Makikipag-away. Life is too short. It's not practical to have enemies, especially in the office. Kasi for example, iihi ka, ito yung labasan ng pinto. Palabas ka, papasok ng kaaway mo, ditor ka, ditor! Hindi ka na kaihi, gumampak na yung ihi mo sa hita mo. Sabi, ano yan? Mist. Ano? Sabi niya, paano yung mga tao na walang ginawa? Kundi to backstab me, to talk behind me. If you are the very subject of gossip, only one thing is sure. Ask me what's that? You're famous. You're famous. Kaya ka pinagchichismisan, sikat ka. Imagine mo, 2 oras na mga pangit na yan, ikaw naman pinag-uusapan. Wala ba kayong ginagawa? And remember this, if that person keeps on talking about you and it's not true, don't worry. Hindi naman ikaw ang naipakilala nila. Ang naipakilala nila ay sarili nila. Kung anong klaseng tao sila. If somebody keeps on talking behind you, don't worry. It's not you who they were able to introduce, but themselves. What kind of people they are. So live your life well. In good relationship with God and with people. And please, don't be a pleaser. If you are a pleaser, just keep on pleasing your friends, your boss, you'll end up dead after 1 month. Don't please anyone. Remember, at the end of the day, it's between you and your God alone. No matter what happens, it's between you and your God alone. And lastly, before I end and I give you the opportunity for question and answer, if you want to experience human transcendence, and if you want to laugh, even in the midst of your difficulties and tribulations, remain humble. Remain focused, remain grateful, remain humble. Don't forget that everything is but a gift. And because you realize that everything that you have in your life is a gift, you will be good and a nice steward, a best steward of that gift. Be humble kahit gano'ng malayo na ang narating nyo. If you have high position in ATB, remain humble even you are in 20th floor, 50th floor. Be humble. At the end of the day, in the eyes of God, positions doesn't matter. They don't matter at all. At the end of the day, you will be judged by your heart. Aanin mo ang tagumpay kung lahat ng tao umiiwas sa'yo. You will never enjoy it. Be humble. Ang dahil mga tao kasi ang yayabang. May kayo na, I have a friend, ang lakamang yabang, ang lakas ng hangin. Pagkasama nga namin sa excursion, huwag ka na magtualya, kausapin mo lang, tuyo ka na. Sa sobrang lakas ng hangin, tumisip, wow, parang blower. Don't ever put your success in your head because time will come, you'll retire. And you will leave ADB. Do you think ADB will stop if you're not here? Hello, baka mas masaya pa yung ADB. Pag wala ka na. That's why it has been my role in life. If I want to be happy and to experience human transcendence and difficulties, I just need to be humble in front of anyone. Remember this, humility in front of authority is duty. Humility in front of equals is courtesy. But humility in front of those people who hurt us, who malign us, who backstab us, is what you call courtesy and humility. Be noble in the midst of those people who seem to be so indifferent towards us. When I was still in high school and in college, my classmates used to bully me because I'm the smallest and the cutest. Is that a sin? No, it's a privilege, right? I'm the smallest guy in my class, so they keep on pushing me, throwing papers, and I'm bibo na ako nung bata pa ako. I used to recite, even my English is not that good, that even the Carabao walks out whenever I speak English. But I said to myself, I have to speak, and it's okay for me to commit mistakes because this is the only way for me to learn the language. My classmates used to laugh at me, and they call me names beyond imagination. But I never fought back. I showed humility in front of them and just said into my heart, it's okay, Michael. Bayan mo lang, apihin ka nila. Ganito na lang. Let's just see one another in our first alumni homecoming. And then let's compare lives. And I realized, the greatest eventually is success. When I attended the first alumni homecoming, I was the famous guy because I attended the wrong batch. I came Saturday, Friday pala kami. But kidding aside, dear friends, when I attended the homecoming, I was the famous guy. Because I did not just attend as a member, I was the guest speaker and the guest of honor. You know what I said to my classmates? Hooray! Time for me to get even. But kidding aside, this is what I said to them. And I hope you do this to people who seem so indifferent to you. I said to them, thank you. Thank you for being so indifferent to me because now I realize it has become part of my formation as a person. Now I realize that those hardships that you have inflicted on me, God used them for me to be strong and to be a better person. And I embrace all of your dear classmates and I would like to thank you. Thank you for doing that to me. Because now, Kung di nyo ko inapi, wala naman ako ikikwento ngayon. My dear friends, you might say from time to time that life is unfair. Yeah? But even life is unfair, there is a fair God up there. Just remember this. If God loves you, everything that happens in our life passes through the loving hand of God. And if it passes through already the loving hand of God, sanitize na yan. Kayang-kaya na natin yan. Before complaining with the problem, make sure you're not adding on the problem. Make sure you become the very solution. If we cannot change a thing, why not change our attitude? You know, you have to accept that truth. We cannot change people. There is only one thing that we can change. Ourselves. And if we are able to accept that, we will live happily. Be humble to commit mistakes, failures. Don't be afraid to commit mistakes. Kaya nga mistake eh. You miss a good day. E di repeat. Just don't repeat the same mistake. Learn to fail from time to time. It will make you humble. The greatest lessons in life are never learned in successes, but in failures. And the reason why we are afraid to fail, we are afraid of rejection. Don't be, because rejections are preparation. The reason why you are being rejected is because you are just being prepared. My dear friends, when God made you a human being, He has given you the power to transcend all difficulties. It might take some time, but take heart. Have a peaceful mind and heart, and realize and never forget that God is always at your side. Pagka hindi nyo na kaya yung laban, ito sabihin ng Lord, huwag mong pabayaang mapahiya tayong dalawa dito. Ipaglaban mo. Alam niyo, magugulat kayo, once you surrender yourself to that higher God of us, you will be surprised of God will do. Your tests will become your testimony. It will be your life-giving inspiration. Life is short. Let's make the most of it. And I pray for you that you will remain happy and you will remain blessed. Thank you very much. God bless you. Let's now open the floor for the open forum, or if you want, I could repeat from the very beginning. Before we do the open forum, let me just do some announcements. If you want to receive funny stories from Angelo, ihanapin niyo po sa Facebook, One Smile a Day. Look at Facebook, number one, Smile a Day. Like it. When you like it, you're already part of a community that I belong with. I de las Alas, Brad Pitt, Bo Sanchez. It is a community of happy people, and there will be a gathering, a concert, a recollection. If you want to attend, we'll make an announcement. You can attend for free. Okay? So, One Smile a Day. Ang concept nun, you will receive funny stories almost every day. And then, pag napangiti kita, if I was able to make you smile, you have to like it and share it. So that makes it viral. Okay? One Smile a Day. Okay? And then, for those who are Catholics, may I see their hands of those Catholics? Yeah, kaya pala maraming chismosa. Okay? So many gossipers. Catholics are by nature gossipers. For the Catholics, I also created a group. I call it Happy Cat. Hanapin nyo rin sa Facebook. Look in Facebook. Happy Cat. It's H-A-P-I-K-A-T. What is Happy Cat? Happy Filipino Katoliko Movement. It's a movement of happy Catholics. Lahat ng Katoliko sumasali na kasi mag-shoot to kill. Pinapatay agad namin, no? Because we want to tell the world to be Catholic. It's nice, it's happy, it's joyful. So like it, and you will also be part of the group Happy Cat. Also, last announcement before the open forum, if you want to listen to funny stories, I have a funny story voice program in Globe and Smart. So you may just dial for groups. So, kita niya sa sobrang hirap ng buhay, pati ko yung pinasok ko na. Kaya ang BIR, habol ng habol sa akin. Okay? Ito po, if you want to listen for funny stories in telephone, you can also make me as your ringback. Pwede ako yung ringback nyo. Ito po, idadial nyo for Globe subscribers, asterisk, you have to dial asterisk, and then 0330-93. Ulit, asterisk 033093. That's for Globe subscribers. For Smart subscribers naman po, ito po. For Smart subscribers, asterisk 897-0160. Again, for Smart, asterisk 897-0160. You may dial it now. Libre po, pagkatawag nyo ngayon, pag may narinig na kayong boses, you are part of the system already. So though they are funny stories today, ang sinabi ko po, if you are still single, if you want to have boyfriend or girlfriends, the best way to do, aside from praying, from asking pray over from your parish priest, you ride MRT. Ha? Kasi sa MRT, sa sobrang siksikan, halos maghalikan na kayo ng harap mo. So paglabas mo, double na kayo. Ang maganda sa MRT, kahit nahimatay ka na, nakahimatay ka, pero nakatayo ka pa rin, di ba? Yan. So ganyan yung mga maririnig. If you want to hear funny reflections every day, you dial those number and you will receive every day. Okay po? So question and answer po.
Yes, meron po bang question or comments or feedback?
By the way, let me apologize. I have only limited copies of my book because the book is out of stock sa National Bookstore po ngayon because we are gonna release my second book. The title of my second book is Bakit Mahilig Magpa-Picture ang Pilipino? You know? Yung mga Pilipino, it's a story about hope. So yung mga aabutan lang po, pasensya. I hope you could support the book for 300. Pag bumili po, if you buy the book, you're able to support a poor church in Palawan. I'm helping a dilapidated church in Palawan. If you don't know what dilapidated is, just look at your seatmate. That's the meaning of dilapidated. Wasak-wasak. Okay, so I will be available for a quick book signing after. Pag napirmahan ko yan, ibenta nyo ng 3.5, may bibili ho niyan. Okay po, question?
Wala po yata question, pero any other comments, any comments? Anyway, ito po yung pinaka-happiest lunchtime that we have ever spent. Sa building na ito, nakapag-exercise tayo ng 1,000 plus muscles.
Okay, thank you. But you know, let me thank you for sacrificing your lunch. You know, I honor you. And I tell you this, I could see bright future in your turbulent times because only people who show such courage, especially by attending rather than eating your lunch. This is a human development program, di ba? Na parang lahat ng umatin dito hindi pa nagde-develop as human, no? Kaya human development. So, but thank you very much. I know God will never forget your sacrifice today, and it will make you and turn that into blessing. Thank you.
Amen. Big hand for Brother Michael Angelo Lobrin, ladies and gentlemen. We just have a few announcements. The next Lunch and Learn series will be on October 10. So, with the topic, spirituality in the workplace. Our guest speaker will be Ms. Cruz de Leon, who is an accountant, culture question, and a visionary Bible teacher. Also, if you would like to be in our mailing list, please just approach any of the Light community members and leaders. Once again, brother, thank you very much for this very happy and wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much, everyone. Praise God.